Joining me now to offer his perspective is John Gizzi, chief political columnist and White House correspondent for Newsmax. John, welcome back. Always great to see you. You've covered the White House across several administrations. Thank you, John. I want to get your take from a historical view. What are your thoughts, John, on where we are right now post-election?
This was an historic election, and Theodore White, author of the Making of the President series, once said it best about the 1968 election. It violently rejected the results of 4 years before, but it did so by such a close margin that the incoming president and his party could not claim a mandate. So it is today. The results did reject the outcome of 2016 narrowly and in results that are being disputed. In addition, Republicans held the Senate and made gains in the House of Representatives. In fact, the party division between the House is the closest it's been since 1958. This portends argument, invective, and a very stormy term ahead for the incoming president.
John, two of the serious challenges facing the nation at this moment, as you know, are the coronavirus pandemic and rebuilding the economy. That said, what type of impact do you think that could have on the progress on those fronts the longer the transition briefings are delayed between the Trump administration and that of presumptive President-elect Joe Biden?
Well, certainly the market has been getting a boost as reports about a vaccine continue to come out and look like something will be presented for FDA approval sooner rather than later. However, the market could go down if there is uncertainty about transition and if it's going to be delayed. Historically, the United States has always had smooth transitions, the exceptions to that being very few and far between in our history. So this would be almost unprecedented in modern times, and it could affect the market in a very negative way. Otherwise, when the Electoral College certifies the winner on December 14th, one would presume that the normal transition of power occurs, albeit a little late, and any hiccups in the market would be resolved by January when the president takes the oath of office.
John, before we let you go, having covered many White House transitions, as we already mentioned, what are your observations on the political polarization in the country right now and its significance?
Well, again, I go back to 1968 and the aftermath of it. The United States was divided over the Vietnam War and racial strife. Today, as you mentioned, we have a very lethal pandemic, economic uncertainty ahead, widespread racial tension, and a new president who would face a divided Senate and spirited opposition in the House of Representatives. So I see ahead a lot of invective, and I hate to say it, semper idem, more of the same.
John, wondering, looking forward, how can we get through this? Any thoughts on that?
Well, I do think that Vice President Biden has said in the past he works with people who disagree with him. And I think that if he reaches out to Majority Leader McConnell, with whom he has a good relationship as a former Senate colleague, and Leader McCarthy in the House, he might be able to get something done. But his problem is that he has the progressive wing of the Democratic Party, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez being emblematic of it, that he has to defer to on many issues. That's going to be a problem for him. It is not a time when we used to have some moderate and conservative Democrats and centrist Republicans. It was said that there wasn't a dime's worth of difference between the parties. Well, I'd say there's probably a good silver dollar and more difference between the parties. That will be the problem for the president who tries to compromise, if indeed he does try to reach compromises.
Well, John, we always appreciate you coming on and offering your analysis. John Gizzi, chief political columnist and White House correspondent for Newsmax. Thanks again, John.
Thank you.